Hello, so we are back today on business and entrepreneurship lessons for kids. And we had a good weekend, and now we're going to start looking at selling. And every day we said that we're going to start with some phrase and some quote for somebody that has been in business. And one quote that I absolutely love is by somebody, you know who is Walt Disney? You know who is Walt Disney? What do you think that Walt Disney said? So they have a really good quote. He said that everything that you can imagine can be made possible. Just think about it. Everything that you can imagine can be made possible. Why do you think that he said that? If you think of Walt Disney. Okay, Sophia.
Probably because they make loads of different kind of things, so that he tries out new stuff. So he's trying to make everything possible.
Isabella.
Well, all of when he was only beginning on this with Mickey Mouse and everything, there wasn't the stuff that we have today, in terms of television for
Exactly.
see, and he's made that possible, and now his Disney films are one of the biggest things in the world.
Exactly. So he was a visionary. You know what a visionary is? It's somebody that can vision things that is going to happen in the future. And if you think about Walt Disney, when he started, he had to paint everything. So the first films that he made were just characters. Nobody has made films that were like his. He had to draw every movement in a sequence, and he started making things that nobody had done before, something completely new. And he had to just draw a little figure and draw another one and create something else. And he created Mickey Mouse. And then, he started by creating little cartoons. And then he moved into films. And then he moves into parks, because he wanted to create parks that they were possible. And then he created into making a huge company. And when Walt Disney was born, the internet didn't exist. He didn't have the internet, so why did you think, or how did you think that he was selling? How do you think that he started selling at that time? There was no internet, so how do you think that he was selling to people? Sophia?
By walking around and asking, do you want to buy this?
Exactly, so all the selling by people is, people go to doors and say, hello, I'm selling this product. Isabella?
Like a town square, like him having his own shop.
Exactly, so another old thing is to go to somewhere, a market, and you just stand up and tell people, why don't you buy my product? So, or he could have a shop. Or at that time, you didn't have internet, but you may have magazines. So in a magazine and papers, you will say, I'm selling this product, buy it from me. Come and watch my film.
They might have had signs. It's because obviously you won't be able to use a printer to make it neat writing, but you could always use pens to do that, so they could hang them up everywhere.
Absolutely. So at that time, when he started, they didn't have any printing. So all what they could do is just put a paper for another paper and just make the figures, because at the time there were no printers. There were no, he couldn't have 100 printers, so he had to put posters, and he had to make them by hand and show people. So they had all these things that they had to go through. But what he thought is that if he was able to imagine anything, he was able to make it possible. And today we are going to look at new ways in which you sell your products, and we already covered some of them. So we already said that some people just go door to door and they will offer the product. They say, look, I'm selling lemonade, would you like to buy my lemonade? And they go door to door. Other people decide that it's better to go and just stand somewhere and sell the products. But sometimes, and we're very lucky, that the internet was born, and we have now a new tool where we can have a new world. And that's why I said the Walt Disney, because there is a world that it only is about 15, maybe 20, maybe 25 years old. And if in that short time he has done everything that has been done, do you imagine how much more you can do? Do you know what does www stands for? Go on, Miss.
World Wide Web.
Okay, and do you know who invented the World Wide Web and where it was invented? So it was invented by a very, very clever person in England. And he thought that it was a way that people will communicate better, and it was done especially for the army at the time. And they started creating a methods of communication where people could put things, and it grew very quickly. So now we have thousands and thousands of pages. But one of the incredible things about the web is that it created a platform for businesses. And why do you think that it's such a powerful platform for businesses? Sveta?
Well, it makes jobs much easier, especially in times like this where everybody's in isolation. You can't just go out to the shops because A, you're not allowed to put your shop out, and B, no one's going to be there. Like, it's just, on the internet, people can just type it up quickly. It takes seconds to do, and they can literally purchase things within minutes.
So the benefits is that it's easier, it is accessible, it reaches more people quickly, it can be changed very quick. So you remember what Sophia was saying, that if you put a poster before a print, you cannot change it. If I give you a piece of paper now, that's it, that's the piece of paper. The internet, you can change it in seconds. So if in 1 second you want to put a book that you want to sell today, but it's sold, the next second you can change that in the internet and sell something different. Because it's very quickly to change. It's better.
And the whole world can see it.
The whole world can see it. So the businesses reach the whole world. So Disney at the start, it could only reach the little bit of America where he lived. But now imagine what Disney could have done. They could have reached everybody within seconds. Disneyland, Disney World, they can reach everything. If they want to sell a Mickey Mouse, they just put it in there. If they have a new product, they can sell it in there very quickly. If you were going to put, how did you think is the first step? So you have your business. So we're going to think, for example, in Sophia business. Do you remember the Rainbow Bookstore? So we have the Rainbow Bookstore. If you wanted to do a website, Sophia, what do you think is the first thing that you have to find?
A name for it.
A name. And all the names in the websites will start with www. And imagine that you want to find a name, and remember that we already have a lesson, and we said we need to find a catchy name, because you don't want to put the Rainbow Bookstore because it can be quite long. And people may find it quite boring by the time that. So you have to find a name. And one of the important things is sometimes that names may be already been taken. So they are, and the way that you do it is you have to go first and find a company that allows you to buy a domain, it's called, okay? It's called a domain. Okay? And that domain is the name that you're going to give to your website. So, for example, I have a domain that is my name, that is Felipe Albiarbaquero, and that's my website, if you want to go to it. Sophia may want to have a domain that is called Sophia Albiarbaquero. But for her shop, we may want to call it Rainbow. But Rainbow is something that I'm sure that a lot of people already have thought about it, and they own the name, because you have to own the name, you buy it. So you pay money to buy the name, to put www for the domain. So Sophia may want to put, I don't know, Sophia Rainbow Bookshop. That's the first idea. Okay, Sophia? And then you can put the last thing. So the name is made of three things. It's www, then you have the name, and then you have the dot. And the dot may be .com, .co.uk, .co.uk. It depends on the country. The most expensive ones are the .com, because they are the ones that are for the whole world. But every country has different domains. So Colombia will have .co, the UK will have .co.uk, and everything else. But this is the one that you want to change. So imagine that Sophia thinks, oh, that's the name, but that's quite long. It's very long. So maybe we want to short it to Rainbow Books. Okay, what you may want to put is SRB. www.srb, because it's shorter, but you have to find a name. And when you find the name, then you go, okay, how much is that going to cost me? Because you have to buy it. and you have to press, oh, I have to buy the name, and I have to make sure that it's mine so I can start building a website. So then I buy the name. So say that we bought Rainbow Books, because that's the name, www Rainbow Books, and we pay. And you pay some money because you buy that, but now in the world of the internet, somebody has to host it. Okay? And hosted means that somebody is going to keep all your data on your website. So you can build it. So you need to find a tool to build it. So there are loads of tools. You can say to somebody, like, you know, somebody I know like Mark. So Mark builds websites. We can say to Mark, look, Sophia has already a name. Now I want you to build my website. And Sophia has to say, well, I want pages and I want the colors. You remember the colors that we took out the logos? Because the website has to represent me, has to show who I am, has to show people who I am and how I do things. So that is really important because that name is going to say who I am. So he's going to build. Otherwise, what you can do is there are websites that allow you to build pre-made websites. So they are very easy. So you only need to own the name, then you can pay for somebody to host it, and you build your website. So if you want to sell a product, you just put, you know, I want to host it, and you put that website for whatever you want to have. And that is how you do it. And then you pay that people that host it a monthly or an annual fee. So they host it for you, you pay for them to keep all that data in there to be able to go. Isabella?
I've got two questions. How much does the name usually cost?
It depends how popular it is. So if the name is really, really popular, for example, if you wanted to buy something like bikes.com, it depends on, you remember supply and demand? You remember the lesson that we did? If it's a lot of demand on the name called www.bikes.com, it's not for sale. But if it's for sale, it may cost a lot of money because a lot of people will go and put bikes.com. So you could buy $1 million, $2 million, or £100 or £1. It may not buy. It may be for free. You may be able to buy a name for free. And in one of the classes that we will do, we will see how you can do a website.
So the more popular the name is,
it may cost more money. Remember, it's all depending on demand and supply.
And also, can you change the? You know, you've got .co.
Yeah.
Can you make that into .com?
You can buy everything.
You change
so
it?
exactly, you can buy .co, you can buy .com, you can buy .co.uk. Each of them costs differently.
So
Each of them is a different website.
So if you start with .co, you can always change it to
No,
.com?
you will have one page that is called .co, and then you have a page that is called .com.
Okay.
So they are all different pages.
So would you have to buy another name?
You'll have to buy another name.
Even if it was exactly the same?
Even if it's exactly the same, but it finishes differently.
Do you have to pay anything for the www?
No, because www is the first thing that you put on the internet. You say that it's www. So that's how you do it. And then you have to decide what you're going to do. So imagine if Sophia is going to sell books, what do you think that your webpage will have, Sophia?
Books.
You have books, but what pages will you have? What do you think that people want to see in there?
Different types of books.
Different types of books. So you want to have a cover page that tells people how they're going to find it. So what do you do? Because remember, this is your shop now. You're not going to have a shop like Disney had. You're not going to stand out. You're not going to go to the door. People are going to go to a search engine like Google and are going to put, I want to buy a book. And hopefully when they go there and they click in your bookshop, the first thing they're going to see is something really attractive. It's going to see what is different from everybody. So they're going to see, you know, contact details, what books do you sell? Bestsellers. So they're going to look at that. And how the website is it has different pages. Okay? So it has a lot of different pages that people can access. So if you think about when you go to a website, it has different windows that you can open, and each window has different things. So you can open one where is this one, and maybe you have a click here that says comedy, and that will bring you to all the books that you have for comedy. Then you have another one that says action, and then it takes you to all the books, and then you need to click on it and buy it. It's the customer experience, because they need to make sure that you can buy it very quickly and you can go and get the product that you want. You make another one that says, people make one. Isabella said that the good thing about the website is that you can buy things all over the world. So what do you think? If people buy something, what do you think that people want to know?
If it's about books, maybe like a blurb, like the blurb of it.
They may want to know what the book is about because they maybe want to follow, but so more important, if they want to buy it, they may want to know how long it's going to take that book to come to my house. Does it take a day? Does it take 2 months? Then don't you think that if I press I want to buy it, then what do you think that will happen?
You need to put all your card details.
You need to card details, so you need to go to another window where it's for payment. And in that payment thing, you need to make sure that people can pay, so you can have credit card, or you can have PayPal, or you can have something else. So the website has to be very user-friendly, and it has to be unique. And thus, for the next lesson, what we're going to do, and your homework is, I want you to come with an idea of what WW you would like to use, and I would like you to design 10 windows. So very quick windows that say why would you think that it will appear in each window, and how will people move if you had a website. And just remember that every window is an experience, so it takes you somewhere else. It has to be a sequence. So when you think about selling a book, you go to who you are, remember what you're selling, and remember always the principles. People have a problem, they want a solution. People are going to your website because they want to read. You have the solution. There are great books. If they want to buy it, they want to buy it quickly, and they want to know how long it's going to take to send them and how they pay. Yes? Easy? So you have the principles of how a website works. Now you have to do one that we can do together, and you have to present it. Alright?
Yeah.
Perfect. See you tomorrow.
Thank you.